Hey guys, it's Morgan coming back at you with another Shlog. Here we are at Highland Cycles. You can see Zach is making things spark, which always makes him at least a little bit happy. Take a look at what he's doing there. So to get the shock apart on at least a Yamaha, actually lots of bikes, you have to grind that peening off of the shaft, because at the factory they put it all together and then they peen that thing over, so it's good. Hey look, there's our rag guy. Or not rag guy, Matt guy. He was a rag, well he wasn't a rag guy, but they were rag guys for a while, but now we just use paper rags.
I'm not your ragness.
Right on.
That's what they say over at Davis.
Oh nice.
I guess they started calling Mike that, your Agnes.
So yeah, on those shocks, you have to grind that peening off. You take it apart, and then that's why you put a whole bunch of red Loctite on that nut when you put it back together, so that it doesn't come apart. And we'll probably watch it. Let's take a look at what Zach is doing while he does this, because it's probably going to peel up like they always do, and that'll be good for you guys to see. Check this out. I bet you anything. Is it peeling? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's all right. If it comes, is it coming?
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
Oh, now he dropped it.
So take a look real close, real fast here. I'll get out of Zach's way so he can actually get work done. Focus, you. There we go. So, AVE, if you're watching, please subscribe to my channel. Anyway, if you take a look, it's all gnarly. I'll show you how we dress that up when we get ready to go back together. So he's going to take care of that. If you guys haven't seen him before, I'll put at least a card up here for one of my shock videos going deep into how we do that. But Zach's going to get that done. He's currently working on a very super duper clean WR450. I just got done servicing the front suspension. We're servicing the rear suspension. Just adjusted the valves, and yeah, I think that's about it on this. We put a front tire on it and some other stuff. But anyway, that thing's ready to rock and roll. And I know a bunch of you guys who maybe haven't watched all my videos on the Panthera E-Start probably want to know how that thing's working. So here's the update. It works awesome. Like I said, I've shot a bunch of videos. I think we got 5 in the series. I'll put a card right up here for the playlist. Should definitely check that out if that interests you at all. Setting up an electric start on a YZ250. I did have some problems. I was able to work through all of them and get a solid good ride on it with my kids, and it's perfect. So I think we're good. But I am going to wait for the official review until I get a bunch of hours on that thing and I really beat on it and see if I can find any other bugs, because I'm doing this for you guys. It's because of you guys that I was able to afford that, so thank you very much, patrons and my subscribers, because YouTube money paid for that thing, so thank you so much. And I want you guys to get the benefit of me being the guinea pig, and so far so good. The little problems that I've had are definitely not keeping me from really liking that kit. So that's all good. Other things coming this week that we're going to do is fork seals on this 650 Dakar. That should be coming here real soon. We're going to be lowering, I mentioned this in the last Shlog and we just didn't get it done last week, but we are going to be lowering the 200 XCW. So make sure you stick around for this video for that, because it should be good. Yeah, whatever else comes our way, guys, let's check in on the next job. All right, guys, let me just show you real fast. I'm gonna get in Zach's way one more time here. Look at how mad he is. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah. Show you how I'm gonna dress this up and make it so that that nut goes on easier. Got this little cool guy deburring tool. How's that look? I bought it from Matco, but it's made by Titan Exo Burr. Anyway, they're really cool. So you can see that that is not all that pretty. Again, focus. There we go. Right there would be the problem that would make it not want to do it. But so we take this guy, we just set it down on here. And we probably tighten up the vise a little bit. There we go. Just go a little bit. And so, see how that... Oh, son of a... Now I know how he feels. So see how that tapered everything down? That should be really good. That should make that nut go on a lot easier and just easier to deal with. Yeah, because it's awesome.
Dirt biking is anywhere near as awesome as a mountain bike.
That's no good, guys. So, we got my buddy CJ's bike up here. CJ's hard on equipment. Almost like I am. Although, honestly, I think I could beat him in overall hardness on equipment. He just likes to crash a little bit more than I do. Which, again, is hard to understand. Because I crash a lot. But he likes to crash and really ruin things. But yeah, he somehow managed to bend this JT steel sprocket on something, but did not hurt or completely ruin the TM Designs chain guide. So that's definitely an ad for TM Designs chain guides, for sure. But yeah, we're going to swap a new sprocket onto that thing, and then this thing's getting a full super duper duper crazy, rad, awesome, ripping, there we go. I should come up with the acronym for that, service, because like I said, CJ's hard on stuff, and he just brings it in and lets us take care of things. So I'm going to go through it. If I find anything crazy, interesting, or any tech tips, I'll check in with you guys. How this worked. All right, guys. So Mr. Sheets over here is lowering this 200, and he's already got everything back together. We dressed that thing up, all that. But here's the deal. Here's how this works. So this is the part that comes with the KTM kit. It's bigger than this, which stops the whole rig from extending all the way. And then I believe they give us another spring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the kit, it comes with a shorter spring, because if you were just to put this spacer in and put it all together, it would lower the bike, but it would preload the living crap out of that spring and make the thing, well, not unrideable, but not any fun at all. So it comes with a shorter spring, and really that's really about it on the shock. It's just, you got to take it all apart, obviously, but then putting this lower or taller spacer in so it can't extend as much, and shorter spring would be good to go. When we get to the forks, I'll show you how that looks too. All right, guys. Next job for me is my son's seat cover. As you can see, it's definitely seen better days. It's actually like this when it came to us. Well, this hole was there, then he put these holes in it, crashing. But anyway, it took forever to get a seat cover because of probably COVID-19 or I don't even know, but whatever. I got a seat cover, and then I was thinking that I had already done a seat cover video, but then I don't think I have. Anyway, I don't know if I have or not, but I'm going to add it into this Shlog because seat cover is something you guys ought to do yourself. It's really not hard. We charge like an hour, like half hour to an hour, depending on how hard. That's $90. That's a lot to do what I'm going to do. Now, some people don't care. They're happy to spend the $90. Thank you very much to those people. But if you want to save that $90 and maybe spend it on other super cool stuff like merch from Highland Cycles, that would be awesome. Or to send Zach Sheets more happy coffee to make him less angry, that would also be awesome. So yeah, let me just show you guys this. It's like I said, it's really super simple. Yeah, come on over. All right, first thing, got to get all the old staples out. I like to get a relatively sharp flat blade screwdriver and then just come in here and just gonna dig them out. And I just go around and get at least one side out. They tend to kind of do that. Kind of just pop up one side of the staple at a time. And this is my absolute least favorite part of this whole thing, but part of the deal. Watch this. How many kicks? Brand new top end. Oh, that's 3 in already. 4, 5. I'm gonna put little numbers up. 6. 7, 8, 9. Oh gosh! Is he gonna get to double digits? Well, yeah, he is, because he's not started yet. I quit counting. I don't know how many it. The question is, does he have a spark plug in it? And what's that?
I did have a spark plug in.
Nice. Yes, there's a plug in it. 50, 51. Hold on. Wait. Hold on, guys. Let's see if we can walk over and work magic. Don't touch it. See? No problems. I just walked over and started. All right, back to the seat cover. All right, so we got the cover off. Now I gotta come back in with pliers, pull all these staples out, and then we'll get going back on. All right, so we got it off of there. This seat foam definitely needs to be replaced, but I don't have any right now, and honestly, my kid's not complaining about it, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna grab the seat cover, and we'll get after this thing. All right, guys. So with motorcycle seat covers, unless it's some weird thing that you can't find an actual sewn cover, it is always best to buy one that's already sewn and made for the seat, because unless you're an upholstery person, which I'm not, I don't know how to sew these things and make it look right. So buy a decent seat cover. This one's from Cycle Works or something like that. And I'm just gonna put it on here. And I'm just gonna kind of get it on real loose at first. Two things. Want to make sure it fits. That it's the right cover. Here's the cheating tool. So you need a stapler of some kind, and a pneumatic one is infinitely better than everything else. Now, they're also not super cheap, so I get it. If you don't want to buy one, don't buy one. But if you're going to do lots of seat covers, if you're going to do a bunch of seat covers, these things are absolutely awesome. So, and you can shoot with them. So I like to start by tacking down the front so we get that where we want it. I'm just coming here and I'm just gonna just like that. A couple staples just to tack it down. Then we're gonna make sure we're nice and straight. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna tack this back end down. Now's when it gets a little bit tougher, because you can see there's a fair amount of, like, it's stretched pretty tight, but that's all right. Everybody has their own way of doing this. I'm actually going to move over to my lift. All right, so now we got to start working this thing down, and it is not going to be easy. This got a lot of curve in the seat, and it's stretched super tight, but we're going to make it happen. Pull it tight like that. We can see that it will actually do it. So I'm going to come down here, and one of the keys to this is not just putting a whole bunch of staples in anywhere at any given time until you like the way it looks, because you can always come back and pop the staple out if it ends up a little off, off center or not quite tight enough, something like that. So I'm just gonna put one staple in on the back side here. Kind of hold it. We're gonna come over here. Got as tight as we can. One staple. Alright, so now it's starting to take shape, but obviously it's a long way from being good, and that's okay. These things can take a while. We're getting pretty close, starting to really look good up here, and I'm probably going to end up with a bit of a kind of a bridge here, just because of how steep this seat is curled up, and partially just because it's old, partially because that's just how they were back then. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this as tight as possible. Alright, I'm super happy with how that looks. Yeah, that looks awesome, especially for, I mean, it's a 98 KDX 200. My kid's probably going to crash and tear the seat cover again, but I think that looks great. So, see, we just have a few staples up and down each side, so now we've got to go back and we've got to reinforce it, because if you put it on like this, which obviously you wouldn't, but if you did, each staple is holding kind of a big stretched area, so the more staples you put next to each other, the stronger the whole thing is. You do want to remember, though, if you're keeping a bike for a long time and you plan on, you know, maybe recovering the seat again, the more staples you put in now, the more you got to pull out later. So, you know, I like to do a good job, but I also don't want to make my life a nightmare the next time I have to do this. Here's the thing, when you're going around a curve like this, you're going to end up with an extra flap. All you do is take that, fold it over, and tag it, just like normal. Alright, check it out. Seat looking good, really happy about how that turned out, and I think even that, so even this area isn't bad. I think that's going to be good. I think he's going to be happy. A little bit of a mark there, but I think that's actually in the foam, not so much the thing. But guys, if you're doing this, first of all, don't stress over the look. I mean, whatever, as long as it's pretty good. But then also, a lot of these little wrinkles and things, they'll go away with time, because as it sits here and stretches and, you know, is stretched taut, it will lose a bunch of those wrinkles. So yeah, I think that turned out really good. All right, guys, so a little bit of mail time. Not like super crazy mail time, because it's not sent from any one of you wonderful people, but I ordered something that I'm going to try out and test for you guys. So probably if you've been in this industry very long, you know that the battle with wheel bearings can be real. OEM wheel bearings can be super expensive, especially from KTM. The aftermarket wheel bearings are kind of junk, like from PivotWorks, All Balls, all that stuff. I stock PivotWorks wheel bearings for folks because they are super inexpensive. And a lot of people don't want to spend $100 per wheel on wheel bearings. And even though they last a lot longer, anyway, whatever. So SKF, I don't know how long they've had these, but they came out with this. It's a wheel bearing and seal kit and spacer, I think. So let's open this thing up and take a look at what's in here. All right. Obviously, coffee, super important. If you guys have been watching this channel long, you know that I like SKF stuff. Their fork seals are definitely awesome. I'm guessing that the seals are definitely gonna be good. We'll just have to see how the bearings do, but there we go. These are for my KTM. They're for the rear wheel on the KTM. So nice new spacers. They look like they're like that good hard anodized coating, whatever that's called. I don't know if it's just anodizing or something else, but anyway, those look really nice. Super cool guy seals. They do look actually super and cool guy. Those look nice, actually really nice. Yeah, cool. And they're like, so that's the external side. That's the, I don't even know, but those look bad to the bone. Now let's take a look at the bearings. So they're, I don't know if you guys can see, probably not, but it says Italy right there, SKF. These are 6005s, double sealed. Obviously they feel great right now. They're brand new, made in Italy. Let's see where these are made, if they say. So these things are kind of cool. Reading the instructions, this 2-piece seal offers low friction and high sealing performance. External shield does not rotate with the hub and prevents grooving of the spacer, which provides optimal sealing and is very effective against pressure washing. Hard anodized aircraft grade aluminum spacers, very strong, lightweight. So super sweet, man. I'm excited. They don't say anywhere on them that they're made in China, so that's really, really cool. So there we go. Gonna try those things out. I'm excited. Yeah, I think that's gonna be sweet. So actually, I'm gonna put these in the wheel before I change my wheels for tonight's ride. So let's actually go get that bike right now. Go to work. Zach's using his big words. Yeah. Zach, what is it called when something turns from a solid straight to a gas?
Sublimation.
Yeah, there we go. My mom will be so happy. My science teacher mom. All right, guys. So Mr. Sheets is having a hard time with that bearing right there. We're replacing it. This is a KX500, by the way, that we're putting together. Doing some questionable things, honestly. I'm building this KX500 because the customer is just tired of waiting, and there are lots of parts that are not available. But anyway, one of the things we're doing is putting a new bearing in this thing. The bearing is junk, so we got to get it out. We have a new bearing, but it is not one to come out with the blind bearing tool that we have, which is this guy, which you put it down in there, spin that, and you slide hammer it out. That's not working. So we got ourselves some sublimating dry ice, and we're going to heat up the cases. Super duper 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 hot. That's a lot of dupers. And then we're going to touch that bearing with the dry ice as we're trying to pull it out, and hopefully it shrinks it and it doing, comes right out. So join us for this experiment. Super sublimation. Since that didn't work, it's time to have a little fun.
So cool.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. I'm gonna have to run away fast. Yeah! What was the physics? So there's the weak point in the bottling. Bell Ray, we're gonna need you to strengthen that up a little bit. There we go. All right, so we got her in there, and see if I can film this, but if you can check it out, as this turns, that inner seal turns with it. So that's the goal, is to keep that from grooving and to protect this better from pressure wash and all that stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. The bearings went in just like every other bearing. Seals are easy to install, spacers are good, so yeah, I think that's going to be awesome. So I'm stoked to try out this AT81EX tonight. I'm going to be out in Peach Valley, but up in the rocks, so hopefully get it in some rocky stuff and see how sticky it is. Okay, so the superheat and cool with dry ice thing did not work, obviously, so we ended up going with the really messy cut the bearing and pop it out of there. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. It's gonna be awesome, no worries. Case turned out good, so we're not having any problems, but the super slick method didn't work. Probably because this is a 1988 or 89 KX500 and it's been in there since then. So anyway, gonna put that thing back together. Zach's already got the crank in that half. Got to, obviously now it needs a lot more cleaning than it would have if the ice thing had worked. But that's okay. That just builds on his anger, which is always a good thing. Right, Puppers? There's Puppers. She's guarding the door. She's going to eat the next person that comes in. Hey, guys. Quick public service announcement. If you are going to rebuild your motor from the bottom up and have to split the cases, make sure you either get someone to help you and do it right, or just try to get it right before you bring it to us, because we're just going to give you a really hard time and then we'll do it right for you. Yeah, so this gentleman, he put this thing together 3 times, I guess, and all 3 times it wouldn't shift. He couldn't get neutral. Anyway, it wasn't transmission wasn't right, so we are going to fix it for him. He just called and he said, "Are you going to make another YouTube video about me?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely, 100% we are." I will not mention his name. He can chime in if he wants to, but yeah, so quick little bit of knowledge here. So these shafts obviously go down in like that. Well, he didn't lose, but because he says he found it, but this washer, there's a washer, this washer goes here and down on there, and there's also one here. Well, he only had one of them in place, and so that moves everything. And that, like, that tiny little washer, that little bitty thing, there we go, that tiny amount right there is enough to completely foul up your transmission. So yeah, just don't do that. But anyway, you know who you are. Thanks for bringing the work down here. We'll get it dialed in for you, get it all back together. It'll be just awesome. No problems. But yeah, guys, if you're gonna do it, I totally recommend that you learn how to do this. But one thing that I can tell people, I tell people all the time about, especially splitting cases and dealing with transmissions, is just be slow, take your time, take pictures if you need to. Doesn't hurt to get a manual because it shows the order and orientation of everything in there, so you get it all back together. Hey guys, it's the end of the week. We're shutting her down. Obviously, got the bikes all in here. We actually got some cool projects coming up for next week, so make sure you stay tuned because it's going to be awesome. Mr. Sheets is desperately trying to get that KX500 back together, and it's... Hey, anyway, we're going to make it happen. It's going to be awesome eventually, but... yeah, anyway, 89 KX500, 88, whatever it is. If you have one of those, or you know someone that has one of those, start looking for parts right now, because it's going to take you that long. But I have to show you guys something. So if you remember from earlier in the Shlog, the little it was actually a 65 SX that had the tranny that they forgot the thrush washer. Anyway, I have to show you something that's pretty interesting. So they had this motor all back together, and it wouldn't shift and do its thing, and that's why they brought it here. blah, 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 blah. But if you'll notice something about this piston, there's an arrow and it's going the wrong way. So, I don't know exactly how long that's been in there. And I'm pretty sure they're planning on running that. Because, like I said, they had it in the frame, like ready to go, and it wouldn't shift. But you can see, like, there's all this pitting, and I don't know. So obviously we're going to tell them about that. I don't think they even know. I don't know if the bike ever even ran, because they don't like to run with that. So let me actually hang on. Let me put you down here. So a few reasons that you have to get the piston in correctly. First reason is, honestly, the biggest reason. You see how the ring has the end gap there and the little pin? So that is made so that it bridges, or that it goes over a bridge in a port, so that it won't hang up and grow and come out and hang up. So that's in the wrong spot, because there's the exhaust port is like going to be over this whole thing. So if they ran it like that, it would lock up. But then also, importantly for actually running, not just like having a failure, is this window here needs to be over here, so that when the charge comes in through here, because the carburetor would sit here, comes in through there, it needs to go underneath that piston. It needs to have that window on the correct side. So they will run with the pistons in backwards, but then they blow up real fast. I've seen it happen. Buddy of mine that I was working with did it on a twin Polaris snowmobile, and yeah, that was a bad day. So anyway, guys, had a great week. I hope you guys enjoyed the Shlog. If you did, bump the subscribe button. That would be awesome. Also, tell your friends about this channel. We've been getting great comments from you guys, great reviews from you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Tell your friends to subscribe and all that happiness, so that we can grow this thing into a giant gospel of two wheels, so we can share this with the world. That would be awesome. I love you. I hope you get out, you spread the gospel of two wheels, and I desperately hope that what we are doing, me and that angry man over there, that guy, is inspiring you guys to work on and get out and ride your dirt bikes.